Here we go.
Right.
How's the background and the sound and everything? Is it okay?
Okay. Right. We can start.
Good.
Right. Tell us a bit about yourself and where you are, and because I'm not giving you introduction, I'm leaving it up to you, Jim, if you don't mind.
Okay. Good morning. Jim O'Brien is my name. I'm here in Dublin in Ireland. We're all still in lockdown, but things are gradually being eased. Things are getting better here. So, yeah, I'm originally an electrical engineer. Was headhunted from university to join Irish Cement, and so began a 39-year career with what is now the Building Materials Group, CRH PLC. So I worked with them through many different jobs, different assignments in different countries, and ended up as being Group Technical Advisor in the headquarters, which was all about best practice transfer between all the companies in 34 different countries in a whole lot of different activities: cement, aggregates, concrete, asphalt, you name it. The group was in all of those. So my career was very much about promoting best practice, and even, you know, back in the 90s, sustainability was beginning to be invented, if you like. And I first produced actually environmental policy for the CRH group back in 1990, believe it or not. And it all went forward from there. And we introduced sustainability reporting in the group, and which is very much the fashion nowadays. So it was a tremendously varied career. I was delighted and it was really challenging and very, very rewarding. I retired actually at the end of 2008, having done 39 years with the group in total, and was very lucky then to be elected president of the European Aggregates Association in Brussels. And I was involved in a whole lot of different things there, and kind of lateral thinking led to the idea, well, we should share with other aggregates associations around the world. So in 2010, we got the idea of founding GAIN, the Global Aggregates Information Network, then with just 5 initial members. But that has really taken off and grown, and it's been now a really great process in sharing information and developing friendships across the globe and learning from one another. And we used to have 2-year meetings of the entire group. And in 2016, Nico, we were in South Africa in Cape Town, which was wonderful. And of course, this year we were due to meet in Argentina, but Mr. COVID came along, and instead we all learned how to work on Zoom and all those parties. So we've really this year been working together actually through the COVID crisis and sharing best practice in all of safe working and all of that. So it's been a very, very interesting journey with CRH first, and then with UPG, and now with GAIN. And we're looking, in fact, going forward on our strategy for the next decade in GAIN. So it's all exciting stuff. And I thank you, Nico, for the great support that ASPASA has given to GAIN, and is very, very constructive. And we think and we hope that we too have given ASPASA good help, advice, and you know, the odd bit of friendship, very strong friendship in all our activities.
Thanks, Jim. That's great. The next question I would like you to maybe dwell on a little bit is some of the challenges you see and experience in our part of the industry, our quarry industry, aggregate industry, from your international perspective.
I think the main challenge has always been responsible operation, and the industry has really learned to do that well. But on the other side, there are the irresponsible players. and they through their activities bring a poor reputation to our industry, and that's why we really need to work with them. And a very good example of that was that UNEP a couple of years ago completed their report on sand scarcity in the world, and very much highlighting the very poor practices that exist in some countries in taking sand from beaches and rivers and so on. So we've worked with them, and we're educating them as to what the aggregates industry really is about. And that is yielding fruit. Have even a conversation tomorrow with them, further developing that. And it's been a very good initiative of GAIN. And also, of course, our own challenges internally are safety, very, very important on safety. And I know ASPASA is doing a huge amount on that, and environmental performance, and really communicating responsibly with neighbours, and good environmental stewardship. And I think the industry is really moving forward on that, and that's good to see.
Thanks, Jim. And then some of the positive issues that you see that we're picking up throughout the world?
I think there is a realization, and in fact, the COVID crisis has helped us in that our industry is really essential for not just the people we employ, but the products that we supply. And those products are so essential for infrastructure and developing housing and better way of life. And our industry really is the key to the future. And I think authorities around the world, and I speak from anywhere from China to South Africa to India, are really beginning to realize that our industry is very important. And equally, as part of that they help us with access to resources. It's a huge problem, particularly in more highly developed countries, and indeed developing countries, to get permission to open quarries and to operate responsibly. So I think that is an important issue for us going forward, and I think we're working on it quite successfully.
Thanks, Jim. Then you have raised it, but maybe to raise it again is your views about ASPASA. I must just mention that we, through you, have tried to set up similar bodies in Africa, because we're the only body in Africa that's connected to GAIN. But we're not making headwind on this. I don't know why not, but it's a major exercise. But just your view, comparing it to the rest of the world's ASPASAs, what do you think, or what should we do different, and what are the criticisms?
Yeah, I think it is a challenge. On the one hand, countries like, for example, earlier this year, North Korea actually found GAIN, and they were delighted to become part of us. Now, there's more of a challenge in a developing country where, in many cases, the aggregate sector may not be as such formally or even recognized, let alone organized. But I think, looking at Africa with its the whole continent of Africa, 1.3 billion people, I estimate the total production of aggregates in Africa must be about 3 billion tons, at 2.5 tons per capita, very roughly. So there must be enormous potential for that to grow. It is already a very significant industry, but we need to find some companies, and maybe they are cement companies that have interest also in aggregates, that you begin to recognize the players in the field and start working with them. And when they can see what, for example, ASPASA is doing for the industry in South Africa, they hopefully will say, yeah, let's form an association. There are things that we can really benefit from. And yes, that's one of my real targets, that GAIN can expand in Africa. That's one great region. Otherwise, also in South America, we're working on that. But and similarly, it's getting the industry recognized, and then beginning to link with people. People is the key, and perhaps some of the major players to recognize the value of an association And it can be very, very informal and very light in the first cases, and maybe just in a few countries, but it can all go forward from there, and let's work on it together.
Thanks, Jim. I don't know if there's anything general that you would like to say, but our time is, our 15 minutes are starting to run out. But if you want to say something else, please do so. You're free.
Well, time goes quickly, doesn't it? But no, delighted to have been with you, Nico, virtually, and hope we'll meet soon again. And, thanks for your wonderful support of GAIN. And I'm totally convinced that GAIN can really play an important, very increasingly important role for the aggregates industry globally going forward. And let's do that together.
Thanks, Jim, and thanks for your time. And I hope you keep well over the festive season. Send my regards to everybody else that you see or talk to. And please do go well. And yes, keep COVID away from you.
Well, I had it 6 months ago.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah. Only minor symptoms, just a bit of flu. I thought it was only flu. And that was even before the lockdowns happened. So I didn't really twig as to what it was.
Oh.
And but only minor symptoms. I was great again within a week, but now I've tested all for the antibodies, so I'm good to go.
Great. I'm so glad you made it. And please do keep in the star. You're doing wonders for us.
Delighted.
Thanks, Jim. Go well, eh?
Take care.
Keep well. Bye.
Bye.